Hello, this is Ed Burke with PlaceForTraders.com for Monday, April 6th. Starting off in the June S&P. In my last video, I talked about the pivot level of 828.5 for Friday. We needed to stay above 828.5 for a bullish market. Below 828.5, we're looking at a bearish market. I had the first line of resistance up at 850. The first line of support down at 815.5. Now on Friday, the first hour of trading after the regular session opened, the market turned bearish. We went under that 828.5. The market made a low of 823, then turned around. Once it traded above the pivot level again, the market stayed above the pivot and never looked back. The market traded higher all day, making highs into the close. In that last hour, the market turned around, looked like it was going to go bearish, stayed above that pivot level of 828.5. For a bullish, still a bullish market. It came close to the pivot level, stayed above it, and then in that last hour, the market really shot up, and like I said, made new highs into the close, settling up 1210 at 840.60. Personally, I thought there might be a little bit of a sell-off going into the weekend after another positive week, but that's why we follow the numbers. Just following the numbers closely. Obviously, it looked bearish early on, but it would have kept you on the right side of the trade the rest of the day. Not a real great trending day. The high of the day up at 844.10 was contained. It stayed under our first line of resistance at 850. The low of the day at 823 was still well above that first line of support at 815.5. So not that great of a trending day. But in any case, for Monday, I'm looking at the pivot level of 836. We need to stay above 836 for a bullish market. Mind you, we settled at 840.60, so we need to stay above 836 for a bullish market, below 836 a bearish market. You have the first line of resistance up at 849, second line of resistance at 857.5. For support, I'm looking at the first line of support at 828.5, the second line of support down at 815.5. Now I have the daily and weekly pivot and support and resistance numbers here. I'm going to draw an arrow here. We have the weekly number. That weekly second line of resistance comes in at 860. Comes pretty close to that second line of daily resistance at 857.5. Also, the weekly first line of resistance, we settled above this weekly first line of resistance. That also converges with our daily pivot for Monday. We have the pivot at 836. The first line of weekly resistance is at 838.25. So we have some convergence on two different time frames. And then right here, I'm going to draw an arrow to it. This red line is the weekly pivot. That weekly pivot is down at 809, which is just below that second level of support, daily support at 815.5. Also, I want you to take note down here in the relative strength index. We have 1, 2. Now we're failing at this third high. This in and of itself, this overbought oversold indicator like the relative strength index. We have a bit of divergence. We had this divergent signal back in here on this last high last week, but of course the market did turn down and then go higher. We're at this right now. We're looking at the third time we're seeing divergence between price and this indicator. Like I said, when you're using overbought and oversold indicators, the market is still going up. You don't short a market while it's still going up using overbought or oversold indicators. As many of you know, if you have traded with overbought or oversold indicators, market can stay overbought for a long time. Obviously, when you come out or the market starts turning down, that's when you look at those signals. But I just want to make you aware of it. I don't have any economic numbers any scheduled economic numbers for Monday. That's all I have for this evening. If you haven't gone to my website as of yet, it's placefortraders.com. I encourage you to go on there if you haven't and sign up for the free alerts. Thanks a lot for tuning in and good trading.